Welcome, everybody, to the Hot Tag Hooligans Wrestling Podcast Show with myself, Aaron, and Tom. Join us tonight for Wrestlemania weekend preview. Aaron Silvers and J.R. Huffman are back. How's it going, fellas?
Going good as usual. So ready for this Mania week/weekend coming up. So things are shaping up to be a real nice week. So ready to roll.
Yeah, I got Mania fever.
There's a lot happening in the world of pro wrestling. And I think one thing, we were kind of talking, Tom and I, a little bit off the air earlier. I think this year I saw something where they're trying to do just 7 matches a night for Mania. And if so, I think that will be very, very good because some matches are rushed and some matches need some more time. And let's be honest, they're going to have probably about an hour total of skits and interview segments and video packages that they're going to throw in there anyway. So 7 matches is perfectly fine.
Probably extended entrances too.
Yes, yep. Extended entrances. So let's get it started though, because we haven't been on here together for quite a bit due to some work issues and some things of that nature. So it didn't shape out the way that we originally thought it would kind of shape out. We were kind of talking just Cody versus Roman, and then we kind of thought maybe Rock versus Roman was a match that we thought that we would get. Instead, on night 1, we're getting a tag team match with Seth and Cody versus Roman and The Rock. And if Roman and The Rock win, then it's bloodline rules for Cody on night 2 of WrestleMania. So, Aaron, let's start with you. What's your overall thoughts about the 2 main events in general?
Yeah, so overall thoughts, I think they're really setting themselves up to have a really good, somewhat of a storybook ending, I guess you could say. But I don't think it's going to be the story that a lot of fans want, to be honest with you. It's going to be entertaining, just my opinion. I feel like we're going to see Bloodline win the first night. And then we may see that Rock turn on the Bloodline the next night to set up something else. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it really brings a lot of eyes to both nights of WrestleMania this year. I'm kind of with you. I'll go ahead and say it. I do believe that, and I'll say my prediction for the night 2, but I do believe night 1 that the Bloodline is going to win that match because I think it would only make sense for Cody to try to break through against the full Bloodline against him. I think that's been the storyline this entire time, that Roman has trouble winning matches unless the Bloodline's involved. So it would just make sense to go into night 2 with the chips all in against Cody. But I really like both nights of WrestleMania. I'm glad we're getting The Rock. I know a lot of people were kind of against it, but I just think it brings another element to this. So I'm looking forward to both nights. Tom.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. We'll see what the outcome ends up being and how it goes there. But as far as the build up and everything that they've done, I'm definitely entertained all the way through. See how it plays out. But like you, I don't think they announced that there will be Bloodline rules stipulations for that second night. If that wasn't going to be the plan for that to happen that way. So yeah, I definitely think The Rock and Roman are going to win that first night. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays through, especially since they both have, a championship match the following night. So that's with a lot of these matches. I really feel like there's so many extra storylines that are going to happen after the match that it keeps it all entertaining, but who knows what's going to happen. And that's what I like about it. Because once you think, we got to battle the Bloodline, but then Seth's also got Drew the next night. And that's going to be a big deal for him. So,
JR, your thoughts on the 2 main events?
My thoughts are very similar to along the lines of Aaron and Tom's. But I believe there's some surprises left to be had. I don't know what those surprises are. I don't see them happening on night 1. But I believe that If we think that there were a lot of close calls in the main event last year between Cody and Roman, I think that there are going to be so many jump off the couch, I can't believe this moments to happen. And I know that's kind of vague in saying that, but I have no idea if The Rock is going to, and I think The Rock and Roman will have some kind of struggle with power, and I think that'll be the cause. I don't know necessarily if he'll turn on him, but I believe that there's going to be some kind of a shift in the balance between, because The Rock has got all the exposure, and Roman can kind of soak that in and have that kind of evil emperor kind of mentality that he's going to throw it back. And I'm in charge. You do what I say. I think that'll be the kind of the conflict that happens. But I can't wait.
All right, so let's get to some predictions here on some stuff. Now we won't spend a lot of time on certain matches. We'll just give certain answers to certain things, just who we're going to pick. But I do want to dive into a few of them in particular, and we'll start with the Seth Rollins Drew McIntyre championship match. Aaron, your predictions for that match?
Yeah, so I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking it's going to be actually it's going to be Seth wins. I'm not currently watching Raw. I don't know what's taking place tonight, but I'm assuming from the looks of last week that Punk's going to be involved in this match some way somehow. I don't know if that's going to be actually announced or if it's going to be a run-in type deal. But I figure that's what's going to happen. Is there's going to be a run-in. Drew's going to be cost the match by Punk, and Seth comes out with the title. So again, we shall see.
Yeah, to piggyback off you, last week they kind of made it sound like that Punk could be on commentary for that match. They
Right.
kind of set that up. That's what they could do. He didn't say 100% that's what he would do, but he kind of hinted that he may do that. Another factor, and they kind of teased it this past week, is Priest with that briefcase still.
Yeah.
Eventually, he has to cash it in, whether he wins or loses. Right? He's running out of time here, where he's got to cash this thing in, and I could see where it's possibly at WrestleMania that he tries to cash this thing in. I don't know what Drew's contract status is. I've heard some rumors about that he hasn't re-signed yet. Seth is banged up. Maybe he wants some time off as well. Punk, we're looking at maybe this summer before he's back too. I'm going to say that Seth is going to retain the title in the match, but it will not shock me at all if Priest doesn't cash in on him right there on the spot right afterwards. Tom.
I don't see Seth leaving Mania with the belt. But I do have a feeling that it could be Priest. If it were me, I feel like that it's probably now or never for Priest for that briefcase. And at least they did tease it a little bit. But I think it just doesn't make sense for him not to try to cash it in on the biggest stage, especially if there's shenanigans with CM Punk. That may be a even bigger opportunity for him to slide in there and lead with that championship. So that's kind of what my thoughts are on it. But if he does, I could also see him unsuccessfully cashing in and Drew standing tall at the end of the night. But I don't see Seth. I really think Seth probably needs to take a little time off. I think if it wasn't at WrestleMania, he probably would have took some more time off to really heal his knee. He looks fine, but I'm sure they can shoot him up with some cortisone or something and get him out there while they need to. I just really feel like it's going to be a title change in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going along the lines with Tom again. I believe that Seth will drop the title at Mania. I believe that Drew will be victorious. But I do believe that CM Punk will kind of cost him, and I think Priest will cash in, and then that'll still set up that feud between Drew and Punk going into SummerSlam, and possibly Priest carry it to SummerSlam, make it a triple threat. I don't know. or maybe something will happen in between then. I'm not really sure. But I'm along the lines, I feel like either Drew or Priest will leave with that title.
Yeah, very, very interesting. A lot of things can happen, especially, they can play some kind of injury angle after the first night where Seth's not 100%, like Tom mentioned earlier. So a lot of moving parts there. Now, on a match that I just want a prediction on, don't have to go too deep into this one. It's a 6-person tag. We have Damage Control, Asuka, Asuka, Dakota Kai, and Kari Zane versus Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. It was set up this week on SmackDown. It's going to be Jade's outside the Rumble, her first real in-ring debut. I doubt they'll have her wrestle between now and this weekend. I just don't see Damage Control winning this match. So I'm going to go with the team of Jade, Naomi, and Bianca. Tom.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting Jade out there at WrestleMania in a match where she does have um, two former world champions with her against Damage Control, I don't see how they would not win that match. I think it's more of a showcase for Jade and a way to get them, all of those ladies on the card to be able to showcase what they can do. And then hopefully set up some storylines within that match going forward. Because let's be honest, I don't see Jade, Naomi, and Bianca staying best buddies for a long period of time. So, it could be interesting dynamic once that match is over with, where things go from there. Or if anyone else tries to get involved, um, it's one of those things where I feel like there could be storylines that come out of that match that we don't even see coming yet. But I think it's a way to build up Jade and keep pushing her forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that, and again, I'm piggybacking off of those answers. I agree with you all 100%. I don't see them, letting Jade lose in this contest. They're just now trying to organically build her up and keep her protected in those 6-person tags, just to kind of keep her credibility up there. And if by chance they were to, by hook or crook, if Damage Control were to pull it off, it still wouldn't fall back on Jay being a loss. It would kind of be just to the group itself, but I don't see that happening. To be honest, Naomi could set this one out, and they could do a handicap, and they destroy them. To be honest, as far as size and power goes, speed no, but size and power between Bianca and Jade, I mean, it would almost be ludicrous to have them win, especially in a clean way, to have Damage Control win. So I see, Jade, Naomi, and Bianca taking that.
Aaron.
Yeah, I agree with all on this one. Jade, Bianca, and Naomi on this one. Just for a couple reasons. Of course, the debut match for Jade, I don't think they're going to let her lose that since they built her up for so long and kept her out until Mania and Rumble both. So they're definitely coming out with that win. And then again, I think it was Tom's point there. They won't be friends very long because if anybody's followed Jade over from AEW to now. She makes it very clear she's not here to make friends. She calls herself that bitch. So that's what she is.
Another quick one. We got Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic. Another match just to kind of get these guys on the show and give them something, which is a shame because Dominic's had a fantastic year, and this is what they kind of give him. But I'll just say it's going to be Rey and Dragon Lee. Tom.
I'll go the opposite. I think Dominic gets a win at Mania. I think it'll be a fun match, but with very little build, in my opinion, for the tag team match. It is what it is, but I think it'll be a good match, entertaining one.
Yeah.
I agree with Tom as well. I think Dominic and Santos are going to win this. I don't know how much longer Ray's going to stay in the game, but I think he's coming up on the cusp of the end of his career, and probably if he can make it another Mania, that may be his his swan song, so to speak. But I believe they're going to try to build Dominic a little bit more and maybe try to shift him away from Judgment Day. I mean, they're kind of already doing that. Maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but it just seems like they're kind of shifting that out, and maybe Judgment Day maybe splitting all together going forward. I don't know, but it looks like they're going in a different direction, especially by putting him in this angle with Santos Escobar.
Actually, real quick, I just thought of something. I do want to change my mind because I believe Carlito's going to turn on Ray, and there's the Andrade factor that they keep teasing as well. So I'll go with. I forgot about Carlito's facial expressions the other night when he wasn't chosen as the partner. So I will go with Dominic and Santos. Aaron.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ray and Dragon Lee on this one. Besides the entrances that could potentially be with this match, I'm not interested at all in this match. 6 months ago, when Dom was red hot and they were actually doing things with him, yeah, I would have been interested. Now I'm not. So Ray and Dragon Lee on this one.
All right. Another one, just kind of thrown together. Philadelphia street fight. You got Lashley and the Profits taking on AOP and Karrion Kross in a Philadelphia street fight. I'm just going to go with Lashley and the Profits. Tom.
I'll go opposite of you just because I don't have really any investment in this match. I like all of the members of both teams. I really wish them all well. I wish they would have had a little bit better build to this than what they've had, and a little more character development for Cross and AOP, and just done a little bit more with them to make us care a little bit more. But I think this could be a fun. I mean, a street fight's a street fight. It should be a fun time, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lashley and the Profits, but the only reason I say that is I had such high hopes for Karrion Kross when he came into the main roster, and the way that he's kind of been like Wardlow in AEW. He's just so big high hopes, starts and stops on him so many times, and coming back from that character development that he had with the helmet and things like that, it just never came back. And I really think they can still push Lashley and the Profits and put them in that title picture, the tag team title picture, and get him back in the singles division pretty soon. Even though I think it'll be a good contest, but no disrespect, but it feels like a glorified SmackDown match other than a WrestleMania match to me, and that's just my opinion.
Aaron.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cross and AOP on this one. Of course, I'm a huge Cross fan, regardless. But I really feel like it'll be a good match. It'll definitely be a hard-hitting match, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody don't actually get hurt in this one, because it's a lot of meat being thrown around in that match. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. We got Judgment Day. We got the Awesome Truth. We got New Catch Republic. We've got DIY. And we got New Day. And we have Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Should be a really good match. A lot of really good talents in this match. Got some people who will be definitely trying to make their Mania moment because they haven't had a Mania match yet. So to me, it's the Awesome Truth taking the tag titles from Judgment Day. Tom.
I like that. I feel like The Miz has leached a hold of R-Truth to get a Mania match this year, which is fine. I feel like, it would be a reward for R-Truth for all the good things that he's done, especially lately. But I could see it going multiple different ways. I would not be surprised if A-Town Down Under won this match. That's kind of the way I was leaning, but I would actually be happier if the Awesome Truth won. But like you said, I think it'll be a great contest. There's a lot of great talent. I'm excited to see what DIY is going to bring to the ladder match with all the different competitors. New Day is always, top notch. And then, you got like is it the, what are they calling them, the New Catch Republic? I mean, they're hungry. You know, Pete Dunne's always doing crazy stuff. Tyler Bates, fantastic. This should be a hell of a match. So I'm definitely excited for the match part itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of you all. This is going to be a very exciting match, and I think the one that's going to steal the show out of this is going to be Tyler Bate because that's the strongest little fella I've ever seen. He does things that I've never seen before at his size and his weight for what he can do. I'm gonna go with DIY on this one. It just seems like beating the Creed brothers and the kind of the momentum they've been putting behind them. I can see them doing that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a New Day, just for the simple fact that that might be a better matchup if the Profits get back into the picture to kind of put that feud kind of together. That's kind of what I'm leaning as DIY.
Crazy to think that the Creed brothers didn't even get in this match, man. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, so on that note, that's disappointing for sure. I'm a
Yes.
huge Creed Brothers fan. They're now in that Andre the Giant Battle Royal, from what I'm seeing, which doesn't make any sense to me. But either way, I'm going to go with A-Town Down Under also on this one. I love Grayson Waller and Austin Theory and what they do and what they bring to the table, being heels, but also comical at the same time. I love what they do. And to you all's point, this match will probably be pretty exciting. It may be one of the top matches of the weekend when it's all said and done. Be a lot of memorable moments, I have a feeling. So I'm pretty pumped for it.
Match, I don't know how I feel about this match at all. Jimmy versus Jay Uso. I mean, I think we all knew it was coming. I feel like Jimmy hasn't really got a chance to shine since the breakup, outside of just being a full lackey and being an antagonist to Jay. And I feel like this match is almost a disservice to Jay for the work he has put in for the year. But this match they wanted, and I think the WWE is trying to help them out here. And there's a lot of Solo perhaps getting involved again. Someone who doesn't have a Mania match, Solo. It's so weird to me. I will say Jimmy Uso beats Jay Uso. Tom.
Here's one of those matches that I feel like is going to bleed into the Bloodline match, or depending on where it's at on the card. I don't know if it's supposed to be night one or
They
night
haven't
two.
said night one or night two yet. They haven't said so.
But either way, I think it pushes the storyline forward because at the end of the day, they're brothers. They can be against each other. They can fight till they're, an inch of their life. When they're done, they're still brothers at the end of the day. What does that mean for the bloodline? What does that mean for Jey Uso? Does he eventually go back with his brother in the bloodline? Does Jimmy leave the bloodline and rejoin his brother at some point? There's no doubt in my mind that they get back together as a tag team at some point. I don't know if that's this year or 3 years from now or whatever. But either way, I think there's implications in this match. But I also think that they could have the match of the weekend themselves. You've got two great talents as a tag team. They're both great in ring as singles. And I'm excited to see them together, to see what they put together, because I think they are going to want to show that they both are potentially the head of the bloodline and potential tribal chiefs for the future when Roman's gone. I think they want to show out and show what they can do as singles, and this is one way they can really do that is against each other.
Yeah.
Tom, you stole my thunder. I was going to talk about the brotherhood and things like that. What I would like to see, I'm going with Jay. I think Jay will win this. That's my opinion. I would like to see a Cody Dustin moment where they just beat the absolute hell out of each other, but at the end of the match, they realize that they are better together. And then they start fusing that relationship of the greatest tag team of all time back together to get back on that track to go back into that after this match and the things with the bloodline takes place. That's what I would like to see. And I'm not saying if WWE plays their cards, I have no idea what they have planned, but that's what I would like to see going forward is for them to just have a battle of the ages and really get the crowd just completely wound out and then come together at the end just to, out of respect. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know, but I would like to see a clean match. No interference, but who knows?
Where?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Jay on this one. I feel like to one of y'all's points earlier, the fact that this match could help bleed into that final match. I assume will be the last match of the weekend, the Cody and Roman with the bloodline rules is what I'm thinking is going to happen. With Solo being involved in this match is going to cost Jimmy the win. That's where I'm going with this one. So again, Jay's going to come out with the win on this one, and we're going to see more to come from that match result. So.
AJ Styles has got a match. He's taking on LA Knight. I will give them credit for this. They're trying very hard to push this over the last couple weeks. A lot of bad blood. LA Knight getting arrested. Trying their hardest. I still don't care about it. I think it'll be good. That it'll be a good match, though. I really do. It may end up being LA Knight's best match in WWE before this is all said and done because AJ comes, he comes to wrestle. I will say LA Knight will beat AJ Styles. Let's go, Aaron. You'll go. We'll go first with you on this one.
Yeah, so I agree with LA Knight winning this one. They obviously have had history in TNA Impact before. They've challenged each other before, but this match should be a good one. And I think, to your point, I think this will be LA Knight's best match that he's had at this point. It'll really showcase what he can do. Again, I'm an LA Knight fan, but nobody can deny AJ's his capability in the ring and what he brings. So I think we're really going to see a great one here, and we'll see what comes of it. Again, they're really playing the story up, leading up to it. They give the LA Knight the other night. They give him the Stone Cold story treatment, if you will, where they arrested him out in somebody's front yard and all that. So that was pretty cool to see that. But again, I'm going to go LA Knight in this one, and he'll definitely have his Mania moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you all. I believe LA Knight's going to take this one. It's I don't think AJ's finished. He's got a great career. He's had with the WWE several championships. May even have another one left in him. I don't know. But I think this is a springboard for LA Knight. That possibly some type of title contention or title match later on, SummerSlam or something later on in the year. But I definitely see LA Knight going over in this one.
Oh,
Yeah, I definitely think LA Knight wins this match. But I do want to kind of talk just for a second about AJ Styles' intensity. I think he's been great in him being mad and wanting to fight. And I think that brings a lot to what's going to make this a standout match on whichever night it is. I just really feel like they actually hate each other. And sometimes I don't feel like we get a genuine feud where you think that they might actually dislike each other. And I think they've done a good job with that. But yeah, LA Knight, he's got to win that match, in my opinion.
kind of a fumble for me has been the Io Sky versus Bailey match. I thought they started it off really hot. I did think they kind of jumped the gun on Bailey coming out saying that she understood what they were saying the whole time. I think they could have dragged that out a few more weeks, and they went ahead and rushed it, and then it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think this is not the matchup that everyone was kind of hoping as far as the attention it's gotten. And let's be honest, EO's run in the last 4 months. They've kind of really cooled her off. They haven't really done much with her. Keep worrying too much about damage control instead. This is Bailey's moment. Bailey's going to win the title, in my opinion, and we'll move on from there. Bailey, Tom.
Yeah, Bailey's winning the match. Um, I love EO. I think she's a great talent. I just don't think that they have faith in her to really push storylines that matter. And that's kind of what I feel like we were having leading up to this, is that it just really didn't matter. I'm ready to move on from Damage Control. I want to see Bailey feuding with somebody else for the title, and maybe they can regroup with EO and do something different, hopefully. But yeah, Bailey, it's definitely her moment.
Chair.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bailey as well. I love Bailey. She's one of my favorites. She has been for a long time. But I see either Naomi or Bianca turning heel to be that quality opponent for Bailey in the future. I think that other than, Damage Control, I don't see a lot of unless I'm forgetting somebody, I don't see a lot of strong heels coming through in the SmackDown roster. So what's that?
There's one. There's one.
Okay,
Tiffany
add it
Stratton.
to it.
Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, she's on her way. She's like the LA Knight. She's gaining steam and she's red hot right now. And maybe even by SummerSlam, that might be a key ingredient. I never thought about that, but I still think there should probably be another one in the mix as far as that heel factor. Nobody knows when Charlotte comes back what she's going to be. She could, who knows? But she's still in the mix to think about down the road as well. But I'm going Bailey.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned Tom the other day. If I had to put a bet down right now on two women that will be involved in women's main events, WrestleMania next year, it'll be Jade and Tiffany Stratton.
I
Those
agree.
are the two. Those are the two on either opposite sides. Just think, what if we got Charlotte versus Jade next year? Right, that'd be great. And then you got Tiffany on the other side. I mean, I'm a firm Tiffany Stratton believer. Firm on her right now. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Tiffany Stratton thing, but as it pertains to this match, I definitely think Bailey comes out with the win. You guys have already kind of really beat this horse a little bit here, but EO's title run has been very cold lately, and I really think that out of Damage Control, we're seeing Dakota Kai emerge more than any of them at this point, which I'm kind of excited about because I like Dakota Kai, I like what she brings to the table, and I think she's just getting better and better week over week. So again, I think Bailey wins this one. I don't think she's finished with Dakota Kai specifically when this is over. But I also don't know what happens with some of the ladies that are involved in the six woman tag, where they go after this match. So we shall see. But Bailey on this one.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's injury really threw them into a panic mode, and that's just my thoughts. I think maybe they had a plan for Charlotte come WrestleMania time, because it was right after then. Then you saw Stratton kind of arrive, Jade starting to get, her push. Naomi's back in now. I think a lot of things kind of changed plans and directions. But one of them I felt the whole time was going to happen is Mommy versus the Man, and it's first time ever matchup between these two. It's kind of hard to believe that if that's true. As far as I didn't do the research back, sometimes they tell us things and it's not very accurate. But I'm very excited about this match. Becky is big time Bex in the big time matches. She really comes to go. And Rhea, the last few years, I mean, has just tore WrestleMania apart. Uh, and I think that Rhea Ripley is going to retain and beat Becky Lynch. Even though this has kind of been a Becky redemption story, I think Rhea Ripley is going to retain the title, and Mommy's still going to be on top. Tom.
Uh, so I definitely think that if no one interferes, Rhea wins this match. I think it could be a very hard hitting, a very solid match. Like you said, Becky is known for, these big matches. She really puts in the work. And has great matches with lots of competitors when it counts. But I don't see Becky losing clean. Um, they've kind of messed her around a little bit. I know she lost to Nia clean and some things like that, um, which I don't think helps build her up against Rhea, which, Rhea doesn't lose. Rhea is always the dominating force. Rhea's, that competitor. So, I think it's going to be hard for them to just completely kill the Becky Lynch character. And where do you go from there if she gets beat clean? I could see someone like a Nia Jax or someone interfering in this match, and helping Rhea win inadvertently. There's always that heat between Becky and Nia still. They didn't squash anything. I really feel like something's got to happen there because Rhea needs to win, but Becky doesn't need to lose. So I think that's a challenge that they're going to have to get out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, you took the words right out of my mouth. I see some type of interference, maybe Nia come in and squashing both of them, and Rhea having just a little bit more gumption inside of her to get that win, but it won't be a clean finish, and it really doesn't need to be. It needs to be a dirty finish so that Becky can still have that steam behind her and still be a top competitor going in. I mean, this is WrestleMania season, but it's really the start of the season. This is the start of wrestling this year, technically. I know the Royal Rumble is, but we've got a whole year of storylines and things to put together. And they're trying like the devil to put women's wrestling back at main events again. And Becky definitely needs to be in that mix. And to squash her clean wouldn't be right. But I'm calling Rhea in this one. She's too strong, too hot. And I think maybe down the line, her becoming a baby face, a true white meat baby face, may be her demise going forward, but not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Becky in this one. I feel like there's going to be some interference also. It probably will be Nia, which I'm kind of over that factor at this point because I feel like Nia has been pushed as this dominant force, but she keeps getting beat by silly people at silly times, which makes her not dominant to me. The whole Nia Jax thing just doesn't make sense to me in general. But either way, I think Becky comes out with it because of interference from Nia in some way, shape, or form.
A match that is weird and just thrown together. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul for United States Championship. To me, it should have just been Randy versus Logan.
Yep.
But they've kind of thrown KO in there because they didn't have nothing for KO, I assume. And with that addition, I feel like Logan Paul is going to retain this title. Owens and Randy have been too buddy as of late. I feel like something's going to go down between them two and set up a future storyline. And to be honest with you, Kevin Owens is the type of person that Randy Orton would want to wrestle night in and night out. Let's be honest, because he could have his type of aggression, and Owens can have his type of aggression. I think Logan Paul retains the belt. It'll probably be a really good match. Logan does very good, and that's two good guys to be in the ring with to kind of coordinate some things. But I just think the miscommunication between Orton and Owens will cost them, and Logan sneaks out the champion. Tom.
Yeah, I think Logan wins that match. It's weird for me to look at that match and for the United States Championship and have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in that match for that title. Seems weird to me. I don't think they need that title in any way, shape, or form. And a win over those two, albeit a triple threat match, is still a big win for Logan Paul and helps to continue to build his legacy in the WWE. And it sounds like he's going to be with the WWE for a long time. So, if that's the case, it just makes all the sense in the world to get a win like that at WrestleMania because it doesn't hurt the other two competitors either. So,
JR?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think Logan Paul's coming away with this. He's the ultimate opportunist. He's taken advantage of that several times. That type of match will play right into his hand. The finish will play right into his hand to let them two just demolish each other, and he come in and sneak out a win. So Logan Paul.
Aaron?
Well, of course, I hope it comes out with Orton with the title. But if for some reason it doesn't, I'm excited to see what could happen between him and KO. Because I feel like that could be a definite, a huge possibility that takes place. To you guys' point, where Logan Paul sneaks through because of those guys going at each other. So, pretty pumped for that match. I always am when Randy's in the ring, but you guys might be right on this one.
2 matches to go. One match I didn't think was going to take place this year because I thought another match was going to take place, but then some things happened within the world of WWE and probably could put some kibosh on that. But we got Gunther not taking on Brock Lesnar, like I think some of us originally thought months ago, taking on Sami Zayn. And they're doing this whole Sami's an underdog. He hasn't had his moment. He just had it last year. I guess he forgot. He just had this big moment last year, but now they're acting like he's a bum and he had a qualified, and Chad Gable's kind of involved, beefing him up a little bit. Come on, Sammy, you got this. And I think Chad Gable is going to turn on Sami Zayn, and Gunther is going to still reign supreme because I don't think Sami Zayn is the right choice to take this belt off of Gunther. Gunther retains. Tom.
I mimic what you just said. There's no way Sammy is beating Gunther for that title. It just to me doesn't make sense. I love Sammy to death. He's a great Intercontinental Champion. However, it feels thrown together. It just feels like that's not the right time. Gunther's got a great thing going. It doesn't have to end at WrestleMania. It's one of those things that the right competitor needs to beat him, and it's not Sami Zayn. I would have much rather it been Chad Gable in that spot or someone like a Sheamus. But here we are, Sami Zayn, and it's got to go to Gunther.
Sure.
Oh, I couldn't wait until you called my name. I've been dying to tell you this. Swerve alert. Swerve alert. Sammy's going to get hurt. And Gunther is going to want them to forfeit it. And Chad Gable's going to come out and explode the crowd. That's what's going to happen. Chad Gable's going to come out. We're going to get the match we wanted. The momentum's going to be behind him. And he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. So I'm going Chad Gable, who's not even in the match, Intercontinental Champion, leaving WrestleMania.
I love it.
You heard it
first. Right.
Bold prediction. Bold prediction. All right, Aaron.
Yep.
I like that. JR. That's really cool. I think that would be an awesome moment for sure. But for the sake of if something doesn't happen like that, I'm going to go with again. I'm going to go with Gunther. I don't like the fact that Sammy is even a choice of taking that title. I don't see it. I've not really ever been a Sammy guy. He's had some great moments, just like you said. He had one last year. We talked about that already in pods past. But Gunther's got to keep this title, especially if Sammy's actually going to be his opponent on Sunday or Saturday.
It kills me, every year. I said this to Tom. Kills me every year. There's always somebody who's like, I don't know what path to Mania. I'm going to be left. Just go attack somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All you got to do is start jumping people, and they'll get mad and they'll want to fight you at Mania. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, it drives me nuts when they do this. Real quick, Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown. I assume he's in it. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Braun Breaker as a pick.
I have no idea if he's in it.
That would be great. The only other thing that I would throw out there is maybe Omos. Maybe
Does
he wins.
Strowman come back?
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, but nobody really knows who's all in this match. So
everyone who ain't got a Mania match.
Right.
So yeah, that's just my thought. They're doing a really good job of kind of pushing him. So I think it'd be a good spot for him to win that. Also, the main event. Here we are, night 2, and Cody Rhodes. Is he going to finish the story or not against The Rock? Now, here comes my wild prediction. It will be bloodline rules. All the bloodline will be around. Seth's trying to do something. He can't, he's still injured from what happened in his title match, so he can't make the save. Jay does try to make the save, but he gets beat up. John Cena's music hits. He comes down, can't, and then the glass breaks. And Stone Cold comes in, takes out The Rock. Sides are finally evened. It's kind of like the ghosts of Christmas past have all come to get the bloodline. And Cody Rhodes finishes his story with help with some friends. Turn around, it's fair play. I think if they did it that way with Austin and Cena and all them, basically anointing Cody their tribal chief of the future for the company, that's a fantastic WrestleMania moment. Cody Rhodes finally does it, and Tom is crying. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm crying either way, probably. So I like that, and we've talked about that before. It's almost like the Mick Foley winning the championship, and Austin making the save so that he wins the championship at Raw. I personally would love to see somehow, some way, they make it to where Dustin is available, and makes an appearance in this match. Um, I feel like it's big enough that it would deserve reaching across the aisle and making that happen however they need to. But that would be my only other want that I would like to see out of that match. But I definitely think that Cody's going to be prepared this time. Not sure why he wasn't before, knowing of what happens when you wrestle Roman Reigns. I mean, I know it doesn't happen very often that Roman Reigns actually wrestles, but if you look at the track record, you should be prepared to know that they're all going to come in and try to jump you, have a game plan, have some backup or whatever. But I think he's prepared this time, and hopefully, hope to God he finishes this story, and we can move on from Roman Reigns and do something different.
I think last year you were hoping Dustin was going to be available and come and help him last year too. If we ran the tape on that, I think that was your hope then too. Jr.
Well, thank you, Aaron. You have got my wheels turning, and I love your pitch, but you left out one icon, and not the one that I have on my shirt. Yes, the Hulkster himself. If he comes out, because if you've watched, I don't know if you all watched A&E biography, but it pretty much just kind of pounces on putting a thumb down on Cena, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan based on Roman Reigns' reign. And if they could tie that into the story for WrestleMania 40, I think that would be just kind of a beautiful finish for Cody to finish. And I'm even going to go a step further. I want to know what you all think. Do you think that Cody's going to wear something that Dusty would have wore because he's representing his dad, or is he going to just come out like himself?
He'll
What's
come
your
out like
thoughts?
himself. He did last year. He came out just kind of himself. I don't think. I mean, he may have some kind of polka dot somewhere on the gear, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy because that's his whole thing. Even though he honors his dad, he's himself, and he thinks his dad hangs the moon, and he doesn't compare it to his dad. And so I think it's him walking
But he's
in his
doing
own.
it for his dad, though.
He's doing it for the name and the family, I think, more than his dad, the Rhodes family. Hence, there's more than one royal family, you
Yeah.
know. But I do like that. So Jay's incapacitated too, and it's Hogan, Cena, because there'll be three people, right? There'll be Rock, Jimmy, and Solo. Those three come out, and it would be the crowning moment of the next era. Aaron's spinning his wheels over there. Go ahead, Aaron.
Y'all got a lot of nostalgia going on in my mind right now about all these folks showing up, which would be great. And honestly, it just reminds me of my 3-pack Funko I just got with the Mania moment a few years ago. But either way, I'm just surprised all this talk that we've had this whole pod and nobody's mentioned MJF. Does that happen this year or not? Or does he show up April 21st? We don't know. But either way, I still don't think Cody gets his moment. He's not going to come out of this with the title. He may still be in the story somewhere after Mania, but I don't think he walks away with the title this year. There's going to be something that takes place that he's not walking away with that.
So no one thinks Seth costs him?
I don't think so.
I just think Seth's
No.
going to be too beat up to
My-
help him.
my-
And that may
yeah.
play a part into a story later.
The other thing that I would say is, how much is CM Punk going to be involved this weekend? Is he just going to stick to the one match and be done with it, or is he going to try to mess up everything and really make a stand?
I say the one match.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, especially if it's Bloodline rules. There's going to be a lot.
He did mention The Rock.
Yeah,
He did mention The Rock. So
yeah, and he's done that several years ago with the pipe bomb.
right.
Dwayne was brought up. So
Here's another wrench. What about Triple H? Because he may cost Cody.
but
It's something to think about.
But Rock's also bulked up on him.
Yeah.
Already.
He may help too. So
He didn't break his throne though.
MJF is definitely staying in AEW. I don't think he's coming to WWE right now for nothing. So they did just release night 1 and night 2. Okay. Just released it in real time here. So night 1 is The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. Rhea and Becky's night 1. Gunther and Sammy's night 1. Jay and Jimmy's night 1. The tag team ladder match is night 1. The 6-person tag with Jade and them is night 1. And then the LWO match is night 1. And that leaves for night 2, Cody versus Roman, Seth versus Drew, Io and Bailey, Logan Paul, Owens and Randy Orton, LA Knight and AJ, and then the Philadelphia Street Fight. So WWE's kind of listed that. I guess things can always change. Things can always change as well. NXT's got a great show this weekend too. Don't forget about that. We got Trick and Carmelo, and a world title match I'm not looking forward to. And Tony D'Angelo versus Ilya Dragunov. It's kind of a weird. D'Angelo's worked hard, but to have the Mania match, I would rather have been Mello versus Trick for the title instead somehow. And then, of course, Roxanne, former guest of the show, is trying to reclaim her queendom, as they say, against, Lyra Valkyrie. That's a great matchup. So some good matches all weekend. Of course, there's all types of fantastic shows everywhere you turn over the weekend. I think everyone's running really, except for I don't think AEW is running anything special. I don't think.
They're doing Collision. They're doing Collision. I believe at a different time.
And it isn't Supercard this weekend, ROH?
Friday night.
Yes.
Because that's Billy and Raminati.
Yes. And best of luck to Billy. I really feel like even when we had the tournament come out and we had Kimmy on the show, of course, Kimmy said it was going to be legit Layla Hirsch versus Rachel Ellering. And I said, no, Billy is going to be Billy, and at least in that match. And then Sheeta and Athena. And we got Kingston and Briscoe.
That'd be a good one.
Another good one too. So that's a pretty good show right there. Of course,
Briscoe.
Definitely pulling for Billy. But did you guys know we're going to crown a champion too?
I heard
Did you know that? Yes. May the 11th, Evansville, Indiana, Hooligan Championship Wrestling. If only there were shirts made worn by Aaron Silver so people could see that. We will be presenting our debut show, Ascending the Queendom, Evansville National Guard Armory. Super excited. This will also coincide with the Wrestling Legends Reunion and Jerry Lawler Convention that takes place during the day. Our show is at night. They are constantly adding new guests to this convention. So come for the convention, stay all night. come to our show. Jerry Lawler's going to be there. Jimmy Hart just announced Ron Simmons. Scott Steiner's going to be there. A lot of the girls on our show's also going to be there. A lot of the legends of Memphis. We are looking at a main event of NWA Women's Champion, Kenzie Page taking on Erica Demia. And that's a great test for Erica and her young career, take on the NWA Women's Champion. We've got Masha Slamovich. Cannot wait for Masha to come to Evansville. Former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion, GCW Champion. She's going to take on Maddie Monarch. If you haven't seen Maddie, go to YouTube, check out a lot of her stuff. She's got a lot of potential. And then for the first ever Hooligan Championship Wrestling Women's Championship, we got Maggie Lee taking on the belt collector almost, Shauna Reed. You talk about someone who has collected belts almost everywhere she has gone. She is going to take on Maggie. And Maggie trained by Seth Rollins himself. So great test for her. And then we'll have the Ascend in the Queendom tournament. We got 4 great competitors in that. We're going to preview this show for in the next couple of weeks. We're going to dive deep into it, talk about it. But we're so excited. Tickets are on sale now. We will have the link all over our social media. So go and click on it. Get some tickets. Early bird tickets are still available for second row. Once they're gone, I'm telling you, the prices are going to go up. So hopefully to see everyone there. Y'all looking forward to it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's exciting.
It is. It's
Can't
exciting.
get here soon enough. Being able to bring such great independent talent to Evansville to hopefully help rejuvenate the wrestling scene here in Evansville, and get some people involved in women's wrestling this time. I just think too many people sleep on women's wrestling, and they don't see the great talent out there that are top notch, performing as well as and in a lot of times better than the men. So it's exciting for us to be able to do that.
And you mentioned, bringing people in. We get some talent from Evansville wrestling on the show
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah, we got Mercy, we got Larkin, going to be there as well. We've got talent from Louisville area. We got Missouri area. We also got a podcast with Nixie XS that's going to drop later this week. She's one of the great talents from St. Louis, who's going to be in the actual Ascending the Queendom tournament. Tom and I spoke with her, and we're going to drop that episode here in the next couple of days as well. We got a lot of things going on. Just can't wait. It's going to be a busy weekend, May 10th and 11th. JR is going to miss it, but he's got family duties he's got to take care of, and it's okay. We'll get him on the next go around for sure.
If something comes up or I get an opportunity, I will be there, but it's looking the other way right now.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Things happen. Hopefully everyone enjoys it, and hopefully everyone enjoys this podcast. Hit the subscribe button for myself, Tom, Aaron, and JR. It's WrestleMania weekend. If you ain't watching wrestling, what are you doing? Good night.